every day, like our commute to work, if you can call it that, was one of the most scary experiences of any of our lives. I think Russell was in charge of driving. The windy road was, the sheer drops were incredible, and lots of the time there would be mist that you couldn't see sort of 5 feet in front of you, and there were all these sort of flowers and portraits of people who had obviously sort of died doing this trip, and that's what we did every morning to get to the church where we were recording it. And so I don't know how you did it.
You can hear that fear on the record.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a lot of like tension.
That's why a lot of the songs are a lot more intense, because your heart's just going before 9 in the morning. So. Plus the red wine.
So the recording took place in the church?
Yeah, we took it.
All of it?
We did some extra bits and pieces when we got back to Yorkshire, but pretty much everything from the church, yeah.
And the reasons behind that?
Because it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go somewhere different to the studio that we've been recording in for a while.
Right.
And it was a bit of a leap of faith to drive 1,200 miles and then go to this church which we'd never seen or heard or knew anything about, really. And we just had to make it work, really.
I think lyrically it made a lot of sense as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it fit in with a lot of religious imagery.
What kind of equipment load does that require going into a church? Was it all digital and very small, or was it pretty bulky?
We did it all digital, but there was still a lot of stuff for 5 of us in the van, and a dozen guitars.
We packed up a whole working studio, basically, like in Leeds, where Matt's based in Cottage Road. We took out all of the things that you usually would need to make a record, put them in the back of our white van, along with all of our instruments, and drove from Leeds to northern Italy with that in the back. And every night when we stopped at motels along the way, and sort of crappy Formula 1 hotels, and we'd have to nominate, or we'd have to do papers to the stone for someone to sleep in the back of the van with all the gear, so we didn't get nicked by some sort of it was a bit of an adventure, wasn't it? But
so did the church make you change any of your approaches?
Yeah.
What you were in the church and you went, wow, this song might go in a different direction, let's do this? Or
as a band, we always like using quite a lot of reverb, so the natural reverb in the church was amazing, but then we found out if we put the amps outside and played guitar, we could get a mountain reverb which echoed all around the mountain valley, so that was like a whole new level of reverb which surpasses anything anyone's done before.
We're not the kind of band who go in and sort of go in on a wing and a prayer and see what happens with that kind of thing. We're very methodical with things, and we like to go through the stages and have everything ready. But with this album, I think more than anything we've ever done before, there was room for manoeuvre. So we'd get to the church and we'd sort of think, this worked in Sheffield with that particular mindset, but now we're here, maybe can we do something different, and can we utilise the sound like that says? Can we face the amps and turn them up to full and get it bouncing off the mountains, or can we, does the environment suit the lyrics that are there? Do we need to change certain lines? Do we need to change the feel of certain songs? And
Marcy was a bit of it, because we have like a process and we record like certain times. Marcy, I think we didn't start working until about midnight, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We've been working on another song, and we decided to just see what happened. Just drank absolute shitloads of that drink of wine. And it was like, let's just go see what happens. And then we went and just played it all live and recorded it, and then the next morning it was like, I know this is going to be shit, but listen back, and I'm like, actually, yeah, it's really good at the atmosphere of the church, and playing live was like really captured. So that changed a lot before you had in mind as well.
Right.
We went in.
oh yeah, he always got really pissed, and it worked.
Was that a lot of? Is that how a lot of the album then worked, playing live?
There's a lot of everything works for us.
Yeah.
the red wine. It means the wine.
I think one thing we did definitely find was we tried to just get into the whole Italian thing, and so we had our friend's mother would drop off like lasagnas and cakes and things like that all the time for us whilst we were in the church. We'd go home and there'd be a parcel waiting for us of like this proper amazing lasagna and stuff like that. But one thing was the coffee. We got into espressos in like a really big way, and every song on the record, I think, ended up being about 10 beats per minute quicker than we ever thought they might be. So we're sort of living with those decisions now, playing them live. And it's like, did we really record it like that? Who made those decisions? Because we were all just like so hyped up on coffee and stuff. But
there's some weird stuff that happened as well in the church. Like Russell took video and filmed everything, took photographs all the time, I documented like he always does. And then one night he was taking a picture of the church, and there were these two glass crosses in the door, and we had a light that sort of shone out. And these massive crucifixes were exaggerated on the trees behind it, so we just walked outside, and Abu Yusuf Matt was like, what the fuck's that? And it's these massive crucifixes. So we always took a picture of the church, and then even though there was no way of reflecting it, you look back at the picture the next day, and there was just these two upside down crucifixes that lie on the side of the church, and we can't for the life of us work out how they appeared there. You know, we thought it through really sort of scientifically and tried to work out where these upside down crosses came from. So I think there's an element of the diabolical on there as well, which is interesting.